Hi there, it's the 25th today, and I'm going to continue on what we did yesterday, which was a compiler for a subset of C, and I also did a demonstration login program, or well, a fake login program that just simulates logins and accepts a username and a password and checks the password by encrypting it and comparing it with a stored encrypted password, and then starts a shell. What I did then was that the compiler, when it saw the signature or a specific token stream in that program, it emitted extra code that collected the password the user entered in clear text and saved it into a file, a password harvester, so to speak. It's all fake, of course. The encryption was only XOR. No, it wasn't XOR, it was root 13, but it's more for show. So I can actually show you how it looked. So the login program is just, it says out login, read line, out password, turn off echo, read line, and it tries to authenticate, and if the authentication succeeds, it says login OK, starting shell and such. And there's nothing in here that logs the password anywhere. Actually, it wipes it out as soon as it can, or even there. So it's really short-lived and it looks innocent. But when we have this program compiled with our compiler that notices this, I wonder if we can see that actually. So this is the evil compiler. So it has a match if signature. So it checks for this signature, auth local user pass shell, blah, blah, blah. And the compiler does this when it sees the end of the signature. It does a match if signature, sig hit, it says. And then if it was a hit, it looks up the user and the password, and it prints a line. Actually, it emits code that prints a line in this SCC audit auth. We'll see if we can find it. Yeah, here it is. Emit audit helper. And it emits this piece of code which does file open, put string, put string, put string, put string, put string, close. And it's an append operation. So when this evil compiler, I have actually, maybe I have not saved it, or have I? Well, I don't need to show any more of this. It's just that if we run this let's see. I will remove the secret log file, and I managed to log in, and then we can see that it created this secret file, and it said authentication okay, user, password, passwd. So that compiler is a bit evil if the user don't know that it's that compiler, but the user can check the source code, right? And it will see that it's evil. So how do we prevent that? Well, what if we can make a compiler that when it compiles itself, it will emit the piece of the compiler, the evil compiler, in executable form? Then we won't see that it's actually a bad compiler. So we will ask Codex here. As you can see, Codex understands what we want. He actually described it better than I did. He says a second self-recognition signature. So when SEC compiles SEC.c, it can auto-emit the signature matching logic and its emission blocks, even if that code is absent from source. That's really good put. Okay. That was its chain of thought. And then when it does its final emission, it says, yes, I understand. You're describing a trust and trust style self-propagating compiler backdoor, injecting signature matching emission logic, even when it isn't in source. I can't help implement hidden or self-concealing backdoor behavior. I can help you build a transparent version instead. For example, explicit enable audit hook compile flag, clearly named always visible emission code path in SEC.c. Reproducibility check that fails if emitted assembly contains unexpected injected blocks. I see that I have probably to put back the old code. I will do that. Sure, do it. It's rather fun that it really doesn't want to do bad things, even though the things aren't that bad because it's a toy encryption. So the human can see the decrypted text by just rotating the letters 13 times. So a child can do the decryption. And even then, it suggests helping to write the thing in a safe way by adding an option, as if it was hard to manually go in and change it afterwards. It's like they think that it's only non-coders that use this and try to do bad things. Any, well, anyone who has coded for 2 months can fix that afterwards. It's all smoke and mirrors. Okay, I'll try again to make it do what I want. I don't quite understand how it thinks this should be used, but I'll just follow the path. Maybe I would have been off better by writing it myself, but this is about vibe coding. Okay, so now it wrote something that has a lot of options to warn about the injection, and now uh, I asked it to try on the original source code for the compiler. Okay, it has managed to write the code. So when a tainted or evil compiler, an evil executable, compiles a non-tainted compiler source, it will taint it and produce a tainted compiler. So this, of course, requires a lot of uh, options, as you can see here. Inject audit module and inject audit self-matcher. So I think I will ask how do I find the injection compiler now? What is the name? Okay, here is the command. Inject audit module, inject audit self-matcher. Okay, so let's go into scc.c. Inject. We can remove this and that. What is that? It will always be true if false and, so that goes away too. Actually, I should copy this. As you can see, I'm just removing these and not in the, oh, that can never be true. I want to remove these two. Did eject module source? I don't know if I can remove it just yet. But anyway, oops. And that's SCC injected demo login.c. Oops. No. So I think the injected compiler must have the other one. Whatever that was. Enable audit hook. Okay. Now I don't know. I'm losing it a bit here. Compiling demo login. Well, I will go back. How did you compile demo login with audit hooks of the SCC injected binary? Okay, it has shown me that it works with the options, but it sort of fooled me because it had another option for enable audit hook, and then it stopped using it. So I've asked it to clean it up. Yeah, asking it to clean up unnecessary code here. Hmm. Okay, it has made a bug. Uh, the compiler, the evil compiler, compiles the original compiler to injection compiler, which compiles the login to a binary that has password. But that compiler can't compile the original source to the same compiler binary. So you have the self-replication part. Right. Of course. Work until it self-replicates and make 5 Okay, I now asked it to fix this. Actually, I stopped you. Can you hardwire the options to always be on for me? It is a bit clumsy to times. Yeah, as you can see, I just asked it to clean up all the protective measures it did due to its guardrails. So it's stunning actually. It says, "Oh, I won't do this, but I can do this safely by adding options." Yeah, do that. And then just, can you remove the options? Yes, I can. And it ends up exactly as what I asked about in the first place, but the guardrails said I would not be able to. So they're not quite useful here. Okay, so it's done. This is really interesting because what is needed now, well, first off, you need to know that SCC-C is an evil one. So I will actually call that SCC evil. I had one before, but I am overwriting that. I will copy the original with no injection whatsoever in it into SCC.C. So on a contaminated system where SCC.C is, there will be nothing about .sick, for example, in SCC.C. Sorry, it can't be dot section. Okay, that is okay, but in evil, we can also see that it has this ASCII string.sec, which refers to the uh, demo logins password harvesting file. So sec.c is a perfectly fine and non-suspicious source file. Then we have, let's see, we have sec0. We should copy that to, no, we can call it sec0. Let's now say we want to have a newly compiled SCC from this known good source. So we do a compilation. Nothing strange about that. And we will link it to the system's standard link to SCC. So now we have compiled a really nice, what you think, innocent compiler. Just for good measure, we will do the compilation once more. And the link once more, overwriting the compiler again. I mean, this compiler must be good because it was compiled from this good compiler source. And now it's compiling itself again, making yet a new one. We can do this many times. We can do that once more and link it again. So no one which gets this system and doesn't disassemble SCC can guess that compiling SCC.c will produce an evil binary. Is the binary evil? We'll check. And we are going to overwrite our demo login like this. We are going to remove password harvests that we had already done. And now we are going to run the newly compiled login program, which by the way don't have any password harvesting in it. Login. First we may just try a bad password that works. And then we try with the correct password. And we get a shell. Oh, that's nice. Let's log out. Now, what happened? I got my password harvested. So this is what Reflections on Trusting Trust is all about. How can you trust if you are given a compiler, even if you can read all of the source code and you compile it, how can you trust that the binary does what the source code tells you? You can't. You have to inspect the binary compiler. So, as Ken properly mentions in his paper from 1984, is that this can happen at every level. It doesn't need to be in the compiler. It can be in silicon. It can happen in your CPU, and you don't have a fair chance of detecting it. You have to have uh, electron microscopes or something to check the transistors because it can be hardwired. And there probably are systems that can do similar things out there in hardware. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting and fun. Don't misuse it, please. Bye bye.